Okay, so our standing guest speaker, I guess you could say, Arthur.
Oh, okay. Mine is not a big speech, but it's a very short account.
Arthur, you have 7.5 minutes. Okay.
Oh, that's more than enough. Okay.
No,
Let's see.
I guess 10 minutes or so would be good.
Okay, share screen.
Thank you.
Is it clear now?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to talk about this Oxford vaccine for the COVID-19. This is the one that has been very well developed, and it's also a very interesting way in which they have done it. The person the person who developed this vaccine in Oxford did an excellent job because they worked with AstraZeneca and also other agencies that were manufacturing this place to make sure it's not profit-driven. So this is wonderful because we have to share this all around the world. Now, this vaccine is probably the most promising vaccine. Now, all the vaccines that people are working on is, you see on the SARS virus, it has got the spike protein. This spike protein is important because it needs this protein to anchor onto the cells, and that's how it injects itself into the cell. It specifically attaches itself to a protein that we all have. It's called ACE protein, and it is the ACE protein on the surface of the cell to which the spike protein attaches. So they figured if they target this spike protein, the virus will not be able to mutate and protect itself. So what they did was they took the chimpanzee adenovirus and they modified this adenovirus such that it does not cause any disease. So they make this sort of modified chimpanzee virus as a carrier. In other words, it's like a Trojan horse. It delivers the stuff inside the cell. And they have been using this at Oxford for many of their vaccines. So basically, it's their workhorse. Now, they worked on this. What they did, they characterized the SARS virus. The Chinese had given the sequence to everybody around the world to work with. So they took this SARS virus. It has got an RNA as its genome. They modified, they changed it to its DNA by reverse transcription, and then took the gene that was responsible for the spike protein. They cut this protein and they sequenced it and they had it ready. And then they engineered this particular gene into this modified adenovirus. Now this adenovirus does not cause any disease because it has been transformed. And this is called the chimpanzee adenovirus virus carrying the COVID-19 vaccine, the spike gene. So basically, this is the unit that they inject into a person. When this is injected into a person, this particular gene, it goes inside the cell and it sort of immediately synthesizes the spike protein. So the spike protein is formed inside the human cell. Now this spike protein elicits a response from the person receiving this injection. They produce antibodies. They found out it produces various kinds of antibodies. Basically, there are two types. One is the beta cell, the other is the T cell. These are the two different types of white blood cells that produce antibodies. The beta cells, or the B cells, produce immediate response for destroying the coronavirus, whereas the T cells are the ones with the memory, so it will last. So they found out that this Oxford vaccine produces both, which is very good and which is very promising. So once a person gets this vaccine, if a person gets infected, the antibodies will neutralize the virus. So that's simple enough. Now this is being manufactured in various places, in AstraZeneca, I think it's Sanofi and GlaxoSmithKline, and also in a place in Pune in India, which is the world's largest vaccine producer. They are producing close to 1 million doses now. Because it is sort of not driven by profit, it's going to cost us about a few dollars per shot. Whereas the American one that they are already talking about $50 to $60 per dose. So they are obviously profit driven. So I hope to God that the Oxford vaccine pans out, because it will be much better for mankind in general. That's my little short story.
Wow.
Well done.
Thank you very much, Arthur.
Anybody has got any questions?
So
Any, but I don't know where to start.
Yes,
Oh.
I have a question, Arthur.
Yes?
What do you think how long it's... I have actually two questions. Question A is, what are you going to think how long it's going to be till it can be used en masse? And
I think they are already talking about phase 3 now, which is the human trial, and they're going to do it in South Africa, and also they are doing it in Britain, and also in India. So I think that the phase 3 trials, they have thousands of people on whom they'll test it. Probably in 2 or 3 months it should come out. I'm very optimistic.
Okay.
Yeah.
And my second question, if I may, is what is your opinion on how effective this is?
Well, that's we really do not know. The proof is in the pudding. Right now, all indications are that it'll work well, because they had some human volunteers at Oxford University who are willing to take this, and they seem to have produced both type of antibodies, and they are quite optimistic that this will work, especially since it's got this T cells, which is the memory part of the thing. It'll last in the human body. So hopefully, with the one or two shots of this vaccine, it'll produce antibodies. How long it'll stay viable, that's a question that we'll have to wait and see. But right now, it looks very promising.
Thank you.
Arthur, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Who controls the cost, you're saying? Who establishes it to get it to a few dollars?
Yeah, Oxford has the upper hand in this, because when they negotiated, the only company they dealt with was AstraZeneca. And AstraZeneca agreed that they will not be driven by profit. They just want to help mankind. So they said yes. Whereas other places like Pfizer, they said, no, we're going to make money. And they turned them down. So the same thing with this, the Indian company, they said, no, we will work for non-profit. So that they got them to work alongside. So Oxford is going to have the last say, which is very nice. I am very comfortable with that.
This looks very, very promising, doesn't it?
Yes.
So there's a happy thought for today. We'll all have that one.
Yeah.
Arthur, on that same vein, you say that it's non-profit, but surely these Oxford and these other places are getting large grants from governments, aren't they?
Yes. Yeah. Well, the thing is, I don't know, I shouldn't say this, but you get the feeling American companies are driven by greed, which is unfortunate. You know, gone are the days from Jonas Salk got the polio vaccine and he said, I'm not going to patent this. This is for mankind, and gave it away. Now, he could have become a billionaire with that polio vaccine, but he didn't. Now, I think what Oxford is doing is they'll get some money just to sort of pay for all the research that they're doing, but it will not be exorbitant. If it's going to cost a couple of dollars for a shot, it's perfectly okay. But the Moderna people in the US are already talking about $50 to $60 a shot, which is quite high.
Yeah. Question, Arthur. How long do they expect the vaccine to be effective for? Is something like the flu vaccine? You do it annually, or?
But that we have to wait and see. the proof is in the pudding, because they'll have to try. Once they start trying this, then we'll have to wait and see how long it's effective.
Right.
But you know, if people all opt for vaccination, that's going to be another problem, because there are anti-vaxxers working on the site preventing people from getting vaccine. If more than about 80% of the people get the vaccine, then you will get herd immunity. So people will be protected. So that's what we aim for, hopefully. Let's hope for the best.
Arthur, how long will it take to actually produce enough vaccine to, say, what is that, 5 billion people, right?
Yes. Now, they said that I just read this morning that the Serum Institute in India is right now producing 1 million doses of this vaccine for the testing. But they are going to increase it, they say, by the end of the year to 1 billion doses. So it's and they're
so we're looking at 4 or 5 years then.
No, I think by next year we should be, they should have quite a few doses. But remember, there are 160 initiatives for vaccines so far, all around the world. So, on the whole, I'm quite optimistic that some of these things will pan out. Which one will be the best? Only the tests will tell.
Well, another question, Arthur.
Mm-hmm.
If this vaccine ends up as the best one out there, you've got people like Pfizer and these other people who want to come up with their own.
Yeah.
Say this is being given away, say basically free of charge.
Yeah.
Won't these other companies such as Pfizer and those people, will they start sort of taking this technology and making their own and still selling it?
No, this will be sort of patent protected. So, for example, this chimpanzee adenovirus cassette that the Oxford people are using is owned by Oxford, so they cannot use this particular thing. The Chinese, for example, they have a very similar thing, same type of the gene of the spike protein, but they use a human adenovirus. But Oxford people opted against using that cassette because if you have had this human adenovirus infection, like some kind of a cold, that you get it, the body has already produced antibodies against this particular, adenovirus. So when you have a cassette like this, the body will immediately neutralize it. So the vaccine will be useless. So that's why Oxford has got for this chimpanzee adenovirus, which is very smart.
Okay, Arthur, thank you very much. That's
Amazing.
really interesting, especially on
Excellent.
the spur of the moment, so to speak. So, thank you. Can you
Okay.
stop sharing your screen, or do you want me to do it?
Okay, I'll stop share. Okay,
Okay,
there you go.
Thank you.
Well done, Arthur. Thanks again.
Well done,
Oh, you're more than welcome. Thank you.